Hey, you tourists, it's your boy Domination. This is back in the basic juggler. This is how it text baby man. Others back to do this and this and this. Real men rise up, fake men rise down. Rule rise up, fake rule rise down. Practice word preacher on. It's your boy Domination. This is back in the basic juggler. This is how it text baby man. Others back to do this and this. Real men rise up, fake men rise down. Rule rise up, fake rule rise down. Practice word preacher on. And today's topic to talk about is I call this video the the relationship between the relationship between the sun and the moon. Um, RF RFG chosen one. I saw your video. I mean music industry flat Earth debunks once and for all. Yeah, I agree with you. But this been going on for many years. This been going on, and there's a secret relationship between not only the sun and the moon, but also between angels and demons. Nobody likes to talk about this, not even from the black church or the white church mention this, but they should mention this because there's a real reason why there's tensions between blacks and whites. It's always, and it goes back to the Moors and the Templars. It goes back to and also from white masonry, from black masonry. Black masonry is the people of African lounge, and then you got you. I guess there's masonry in the European because Knight Templars were the founders of Freemasons. They're the founders of that. After they left and escaped to being uh 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 being um being being execution of a fall. Some they were guilty for something. They found them guilty for practice homosexuality and think from racketeering means that they were stealing money from the people from the to protect the pilgrims and also worship of strange deities, strange demon gods. They would spit the image of Jesus Christ. They believe it was John the Baptist. Now, I do believe that John the Baptist was murdered by St. Andrews. I really do believe this. The reason why they want to get close to Jesus and put the frame on him and the jumpsuit order and the people from the Israelites. It wasn't Jews' fault. It wasn't. It was Israelites were the ones that found Jesus guilty. The Romans found him innocent because the reason why they found him innocent because they don't have no they don't have no evidence convincing him because they know he didn't do anything wrong. But they go by what the Israelites said because they just they go by of it. He got in trouble speak blasphemy. In other words, he ain't worship their God. He was God. They didn't want that. See, and it goes back to the Jerusalem. That's why the whole history. That's why Arabs and Jews been to war at each other for so long. What the Templars and what the Moors left off, and it got something to do with white men and black men. That been going on for many years. This ain't nothing new. This is why Europe is on top and Africa is on the bottom. Have you noticed that? It got a lot to do with sun worship and moon worship. This is why women make bad choices of men. This is why men make wrong choices, get with the wrong type of women. Why? Because they messing with demons. And I'm explaining this to you. And it got something to do with sun worship and moon worship. Let's look at angels and demons first. Angels. What is an angel? An angel is a primary a spiritual being found in the variety of religion and methodology in Abraham of religion and Roosevelt in Occidentalism. Angels are offered the this picture as being non being nonviolent and being nonviolent and celebrate and being who acted as intermediary between God or the heaven and earth, or as guardian a barren spirit, or a god of influence. Others of a role of angels, including protect and guard and human beings, and carry out uh God 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 uh uh God um God God uh uh God God attack at God DTX at God attack. The term angel has also been development in development of are not denoted of spirits or figures found in many others of religion tradition. The etymologist study of an angel is known as angel mythology. In art, angels are often depicted as humanoids with a bird-like wing, which are the symbolized for at least most angels on the back, a halo or robin, and an environment of a form of growing light. So angels is what? Messenger. They send message. That's what they do. That's what angels do. The word angel, and then note in English is a been of old English angel with a hard j and an old French of angelo, both of derived from late Latin angelo angelo message. So this is a message. They send message from God. They want to help people. They want to do great things to people, right? This is why in church, they go to church every Sunday. Have you noticed that? And it goes back to the it goes back, I don't care what nobody says, it goes back to the old main tradition of pagan and all the way Egyptology. But it goes back to all the way more to the Templars and the Moors. They will never talk about the Templars and the Moors. They will never talk about it. This is why to this day that blacks and whites got at it at each other all the time and towards at each other and other races too. But what is a demon? A demon, from the other of Greek and dedically of demon or fiend, is a supernatural or 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 male violent being in particular in in the religion on the cultivates and lecture and the fact of mythology and folklore. Yeah, the original Greek word demon do not carry the negative of common denominators and invitably understood by inevitably in the day of the the coordinate of demon and and later and as a scribe to any coordinated of words sharing the root. So this is what it is in ancient Near East religion, as well as in the Labrador tradition, including an ancient and the modern Christian and demonology. A demon is considered a unclean spirit. When they say unclean spirit, it means you have something that basically you did something in the dark past. It's something you did and it need to be cleaned. You need to be born again. This is why they always say you need to be born. There's something wrong. You're not happy. You look sad all the time. You look depressed. This is why people do drugs. This is why people commit crime. This is why that there's teen pregnancies are so high, not just in any other community and everything else. But guess what? People allow this to happen. They get mad at everybody else, but they don't want to look towards the mirror and say, you know what? Maybe it's me. I'm the problem. Women don't even want to look at themselves in the mirror. That's why I will show a mirror like, woman, look what you've done to yourself. Even men hate the miracles. What they'll do, they'll break it because look what they turn into. It's up to you if you want to change. But unfortunately, people won't stay what they are, and you can't change that. That's just the way it is. A fallen angel or a spirit of unknown a type which may cause an of demon and possess. Yeah, they possess. What's possession? Money, cars, sex, everything, even murder. Oh yes, that's what demon they possess. They possess and calling for a exorcist in Western uncoded and the recent magic which grow out of a mineralogy of the of the Greek code of the Roman magic and Jewish accurate and Christian demonology. A demon is believing to be a spiritual internet that may be in control. Yeah, they want control. You got that right. But it goes back to what is divide and disturb and desire and the state of trip. Yeah, yeah. And it goes back to the whole Pluto and all this other stuff, and basically about Satan, because Satan is what? Is Hades. That's Zeus' brother. Zeus and Hades are brothers. Oh yeah. This is why you seeing this stuff. This is why between the angels and demons, and I'm gonna tell you something. Eve is not Adam's first wife. Libby is. The demon female Libby under the appeared of a snake and reveled with herself as a person within the Garden of Eden by John Colton 1892. Yeah, demons are evil spirits. Oh yes, children sacrifice who don't want children, who don't like children, who want to kill their children. You know, human sacrifice, animal sacrifice, all this stuff is demonology and codinism. That goes back to the Egypt. That goes back to the code of law, the paganism. Yeah, they worship these false idol, demonology gods. Even in the Moors, they did some evil stuff. They did. They did some evil stuff. Moors did some evil stuff. Now, some people say that Moors did some good stuff, but I believe they did some evil stuff. The Moors and the Templars did some evil stuff. They did. So that explains what angels and demons is. Because demon is basically means what? To divide and distribute. Yeah. Basically, if distribute basically means to tribute basically they want to trivialize everything what they do, and they want to feel pain because they became pain, so they start paying other people because they felt pain. That's what it basically means, Bo. And Aleister Crowley, one of the most wickedest men in the world, and that's George Bush's grandson. I mean George Bush's grandfather. And code means hidden. Everything hidden, evil knowledge. This is why Illuminati is forbidden to believe that. This is why the whole Kabbalah. Oh yes, Madonna is Kabbalah. Yes, Madonna. Madonna is Kabbalah, which means damage. Oh yeah, Madonna don't even believe in God at all. She don't believe it. She believe she is goddess. And for you women that call yourself a goddess, you ain't goddess. You just a woman. You're not goddess. There was an old million face that I know at school. She called herself goddess. She don't even know what she's saying. She basically saying I'm my own god. No, you ain't your own god. The only one is goddesses is Jesus' wife and all these other women from the heaven. You ain't God. So stop all that. And I hate when people do that. So we already talking about angels and demons, and they've been messing around each other for very years, for a long time. This has been going on for a long time, but it goes back to the Sumerians and the Reptilians. Anyway, let's talk about let's talk about the sun. The sun, the sun in Greek, and hello sun in Latin. So is the star at the center of the solar system and is by the far the most important sources of the energy for the life on earth. Why? Because every time when people get up in the morning, why? Some people say Jesus is the morning star. No, Jesus is the is the star. Jesus is the morning star. Lucifer is the star of the morning. You see the confusion. It's like women is the downward. Where you think downward Baphomet is recognized as a female, and I'm not saying females are not evil. I am saying that the way they put that symbol in the cultism and all this other stuff, and where you think the snake represent the original, actually snake is symbolized with the original devil. If it ain't from the wolf or vampire and all, where you think horror is. Horror, I watch horror movies, but I know what horror movies is truly about. It's basically about it's about it's about nightmares. Horror movies is based about nightmares, what you scared and what you fear of. But as long as you're around angels, you're gonna face who you facing what you fear of, and God will fight along with you. But Satan, all he does is to receive you. You think he can get you can get anything, but you can never get anything from it. In other words, taking advantage of. He got what you he got something from you and get from him. And once you're convinced that he have your soul, but really God have your soul. God is the only one have your soul, not the devil. He received deceiver by think he have your soul to get you to fall for his trick. You've been have you've been taken on, been and take advantage of, and then see it coming. This is why women need to be careful when they say that I want a thug. Basically, you want a man to receive you. That's what you're talking about. I mean, women are just out of their mind. They kept saying, "I want a guy." No, but you know what? Women grow up with no fathers, and that's why they grow up. They grow up with the men, to the ones they with, and they fear them. And don't think these women don't fear these men, because they do. The especially the ones that beating on them, dog them, hurting them, and left them pregnant. I don't feel sorry for these women because you've been warned for so many times. If any woman is you, you need to stand up for yourself. For guys won't do that to you. For men won't come to your rescue and fight. Because I'm not gonna keep fighting for you all the time until you run back towards him. And I'm gonna say this to guys. You know, quit expect a woman come to your rescue. Because if the woman can't come to rescue, you got to get yourself out of the situation. You make decisions that you got yourself with. I mean, too many men oftentimes make mistakes and then wonder why that people look at them the way they do. And then too many oftentimes women make mistakes, and that's why women act the way they do and make choices the way they do. That's why women need to make better choices and make better as women. Men need to start making better decisions and make a better decision and make a better man out of them. To make a men need to start making better decisions and become a better decision making as a be and being better decision making as a man. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, it is a nearly imperfect and adequate balls of hot and plasma with 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 intention of confronting of the motion that generate of a magnetic field and validate a identical process. It's a designator is about 109 times that of the Earth and has a massive about 333, 330 times that of the earth, according for about 99.86 of the total masses of the solar system. About three-quarters of the sun massively consisted of hydrogen rate. Then the rest is mostly Hellenate, much with much smaller a quarter of a heavenly an, element, including oxygen and coltan and on and iron. The sun is a G-type mains Quasar star G2b based on an especially of class and is informally referred to as a yellow dwarf. All dwarf means you dwarfing around. So they trying to say that white people are the sun worshippers. I beg to differ. If white people are sun worship, how come that white folks got skin cancer? White people are the only one, unless they're tanning their skin, or unless they put a skin cream. But how come black people, when they go to a sun, they don't have no time getting burned? You got to look at that. But anyway, I ain't trying to get into that. Informally and probably in 4.6 billion years ago, from the gravity of the collapse of the matter within a region origin of a larger molecule of cloud, and most of this matters around in the center. However, the rest are flat into a incredible bit of this that becomes the solar system. The center mass becomes in in incasely hot, and denied, and probably included a nuclear influence in its core. It is thought that almost all stars are formed by this procrustation. Okay, the sun is a roughly the main age and has not changed dominantly for over 4 billion years. Damn. And was remained fairly unstable for more than another 5 billion years. However, after hydrogen and condensation in its core has stopped, the sun will undergo in several changes and become a red giant. It is the unrelated that the sun will become separately the larger to inevitably gulf the cursor and attribute of Mercury and Venus and perhaps Earth. So they live right towards each other. In accordingly, in integrity affected of the sun on Earth, it has been recognized since in previous history times, and the sun has been visited by some cultures as a deity, and Earth movement around the sun is the base of the solar calendar, which is predominantly in the calendar in using today. So let me say to this, man. This is why we always study the solar system. We always study sun. It's like sunny day, Sunday. This is why people go to church every Sunday. Ask yourself why. Because that's when the day when Jesus was buried on Sunday. If Jesus was assassinated and killed Friday and being buried on Sunday, and okay, Jesus would die on Friday and buried on Saturday, and arise on Sunday. This is why he was arise, because even though his spirit is still there, that's why you got to go back to the Templars. But notice the symbol right here, because Naruto had that, and you code, Naruto had that same symbol. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the symbol. Because Naruto had that same symbol. Because Naruto was a sun worship. I'm trying to find it. Because I watched this show. Okay, look at Naruto's hands. Look at his hands. Yep, you see that? Look at Naruto's hands. And that's symbolized the sun. Look at his hands. Look at his hands. He's left-handed. And Sasuke was right-handed. That make it what? Moon. You know? And I watched the show. And Sasuke is left-handed. That's the moon, red moon and white moon. And that's the black moon. Black moon means black death. That's when the death of Jesus Christ. And what does sun represent? The sun. The sun represent when Jesus rise on sunset. So what does that tell you? This is why you need to study this stuff. You also need to study this stuff because it does make sense. That's why you see that symbol. And also you see the symbol of the moon symbol when Sasuke is got for the left-handed people and right-handed people. So what does that tell you? Anyway, we already talked about the moon, the sun. Let's talk about the moon. The moon, the Greek and Atlantean is Earth only natural satellite. It is one of the largest unnatural satellites in the solar system and around and planetly and solar system planetly a satellite. The larger relate to the size of the planet. It's an area bit. It's a primary. It is the second and density of satellite around those whole and the site are known after Jupiter satellite. Moon is thought to have a form in Adelaide 4.5 billion years ago, not long after the moon. There are several in for its origin. The widely accepted and exploited it that the moon formed from the survey left over after a giant impact between the moon and a Mars-sized body called that is it. I don't know. Must be God worship. It must be God's. It must be some kind of planet. The I got some kind of like a planet. Anyway, okay. This is why they always worship, you know, every god, every pagan god every day of the week. The moon is in the vertically great rotate with the earth always shown the same phase with its near size and marked by the darkness of outglated and mildly that fall between the bright ancient cruel and high land and the predominantly and importantly inadequate is the second bright's regular light and constant state of subject in the earth sky after the sun as measured by the illuminated, illuminated on the earth surfaces, surface, all through it can appeal to a very bright white. Listen, that very bright white. It's a force of is a surface is actually dark with it effectively can just slightly higher than that of the worm adequate height adequate in height. It's predominantly in the sky and its regular circle phrase have since the ancient times, making the moon as a important culture influence on language, calendar, and on art and methodology. Because what moon represent? Moon represent darkness. Sun represent the light. It represents the light of the heaven, right? You see the difference of that one. This is why that bad people come out at night. Oh yeah, especially on Monday. Oh yes. What? Why? Who commit? Who, what day when people commit crimes on night? Monday. Always, 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 man. This is why Rick Ross said a line said, "This is why people see the moon at midnight." So what that means, if the sun going down after midnight, they're gonna go out there commit crime, doing drugs, selling drugs, killing, hustling, murder. You think about it. Quite a few people want to feel safe. Quite a few people. Most majority of them, at times, want to do some stupid stuff. That's why the the moon is irregularly an influence and producing the ocean tint, body type, and the sediment of inlet of the day. The the moon cursor and that of it is about 20 20 minutes that the dynamic made of Earth with its impediment size in the I mean in the skies almost the same as that of the sun. Of course, the same size. Research in the moon covered the sun nearly and predominantly in the total solar escape. This match of primary and invalid of size will not continue in the far future. The moon is moonlit, moonlit, and distant from the Earth is courteously of encased as a rate of 3.82 and equals 0.07 and centimeter 1.504 equals 0.028 in per year, but this is a rate is not constant. The Soviet Union Atlantic program was the first to reach the moon with invariably met of the spaceship spacecraft in 1959. The United States NASA Pluto program receiving the only mandatory mission to the date. Yes, because moon represent dark mission. What does that represent? The mission update is based on the Moors without man. It goes back to that. Because Morse was on a mission when they run Europe for 700 years. This is more science. Because there's no way the night temp was created. It had to be something to do with more science. This is why that the whole Black Lives Matter, when they say Black Lives Matter, They really saying dark mattered. Every black person is not dark unless he's African or she's African. Nobody likes to talk about this. That's like saying a white person claimed that he's white, but what is white? But they try to say they pure. Pure white is close as albino, and I'm not saying that white people are albinos. White people lost their binoless color when their climates changed when they went to the cold. They went to the cold and read that and added it to the surviving the ice age. This is why every year they always support the ice age theory. To this day they still promoted it. This is why white people are the only group that have skin cancer and lung cancer. Lung cancer, they smoke so much cigarettes than anybody. Black people got the highest diabetes. Why? Because they don't eat certain nutrition of food and certain vitamins, certain ingredients of the certain of a certain drink and not a much of a healthy drinking. Basically, who's in health and healthy is always white. Whites, that's why you see white people jogging. That's why you see white people climbing mountains, doing all the things, and you would think why they've been doing this stuff for a long time. White people are very concerned about their health. They eating right, they sleep right, they live good, they drink good. Black people, for most saying, they soul food is good, but it's just they try to say not good unless they got to cut down the ingredient and cut down the meat, cut down the fat. They won't become fat. That's why people like if you watch the movie Soul Food, when Big Mama died, she was having too much diabetes. She was eating too much of soul food, not cutting down the fat, not cutting down the sugar. And there's nothing wrong eating soul food, but soul food need to be a little bit of more health and tastament food for that people can live more longer. So anyway, just fix on that, okay? That's all I'll say. Okay, beginning with the first in the management of the lid, and that a bit of a mission by Apollo 8 in 1968, and a six medley and land between 1969 and 1972, with the first being a a a Apollo 11. Yeah, that was a mission. They went to when the first man rise on the moon, first man land on the moon. Yeah, with with the first Apollo 11, their mission returned over 380 kg, 80. I mean 380 kg, 840 of the Guadalupe rocks, which has been used to the Hafsman and geographic understand of the moon or origin and formation of it interested uh, the structure and a requested history. After the Apollo 17 mission in 1972, the moon has visited only by unmanned spacecraft. Yeah, because they land on the moon. You see it show blood moon. You see that blood moon, but moon is literally so that's a bit like moon. Moon represent is basically what it meant darkness, but it means die. Diana is connected to die, means day. Why it represent that is mentally God is Diana. Some say that Princess Diana died actually that same out of year. That I don't. It's hard to believe this nowadays, but this is what they claim why she died in the car crash that connected of her ritual. I mean, it's something like that near the side of the moon, far side of the moon, North Pole, and a little bit South Pole. Yeah, so this been around for thousands of years ago. Some say that there's a pyramid in the moon. I mean, I'm kidding you not. They really do believe this. Let me say this: we need to study solar systems because all these planets, the moon, and all that. But look at Naruto's hand and look at Sasuke's hand. Sasuke represent what? Sasuke represent, this is the black moon or the red moon or the white moon. That's black moon, meant black death. When Moors, I mean when Moors was taken out of power over there in Spain and Portuguese by Queen Isabella. Queen Isabella did have a lot to do with throwing the Moors out of empire. She did. She did have something to do with that, and I think it had something to do with kill the European Christians. Now, Naruto was the sun. He was the sun worship, and Sasuke is the moon worship. I bet you want to bet this show Naruto and even though Naruto versus Naruto when he faced Sasuke, this is based about the Templars and more. I bet you it was because the way and and Anshia did have a power from because Sasuke is a reincarnation of one of that god, the Six Path Son, and Sasuke, his other son, in Iraq. Yeah, that's based upon that. Look at this stuff. This is based upon that. That's why Sasuke and Naruto were were very close because they they was rival. What is a rival? Let's look at rival and see what that means. You know, what is rival? A person or thing compared with with another for the same subject or for superior in the same field of activity. Yeah, they try to compete with each other. Now they became enemies. They became friends. They became they compared it. This is why all through history people have rivals. Like Michael Jackson and Prince, they were basically rivalry at each other. Their main rival. Oh yeah, they will win at each other. They did. Prince went at Michael. Michael went at Prince. There was a big, huge rivalry, just like there was a rivalry between Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. There was a rivalry between Michelangelo and that other painting guy. I forgot his name. Y'all know what I'm talking about. There was a rivalry between Tupac and Big. There's always been rivalry through history. All through history, it's been rival. This is why you need to study the moon and the sun because this is a sexual relationship between the moon and the sun. If you don't believe me, who run this world? The so-called sun worshippers. And there are moon worshippers as well, but not much moon worshippers. But the really who run the planet is sun worshippers. Why? Because it goes back to the whole Illuminati thing and holders of the light and all that. The lighter torch and all this and that. But sometimes you can see yellow moon and red moon. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes sun. Yellow sun and red sun. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a team called themselves. Uh, um, it was called. It was called Sun Devils. Yeah, there's a team called Sun Devils. There's a team called Sun Devils. Sun Devils. Yes, there's a team like that called Sun Devils. Like they basically saying that the son of the devil. That's why they have the left hand of God and right hand of God. But sometimes it goes backward. The left-handed God and the devil's right hand. When they say devil right hand, you his how can I say this? You his protege, you his creation. It's something to or maybe a lot of times you kill the devil right hand, and left hand you left with God, or God left with you. That look how it's flipped. We need to study this stuff because it got a lot to do with the sun worship relationship and the moon relationship, and it got something to do with Sumerian gods. It got something to do with uh, uh, reptilian gods. It has something to do with Homo sapiens and the Neanderthal gods. I mean, Homo sapiens Neanderthals. That's what I'm trying to say. The Homo sapiens Neanderthals and the Sam Bushmen and the Khazars. The Khazars, man. Go look this up, and it's for the Templars and the Moors and the Black Panthers and the Ku Klux Klan. If for anybody that's trying to say this don't have nothing to do with this, you thought wrong. The Moors believe the world is round. I mean, they came from all around the globe. They all basically what they're saying. They all around the globe mean they populate the humanity around the globe. They did a lot accomplishing things, even though they did some evil stuff. The Templars believed the world is flat. Why they thought the world is flat is going to flat out their account and then flat out their banks. This is why the Ku Klux Klan and the so-called neo-Nazis and all of them come around because they got to manage their money. This is why they do it. They steal from the money from the original people because it got something to do with somebody invading Europe and also Moors, and then it was Mongols later. You got to look at that. And then if somebody invaded Europe, invade Africa, by it not only Mongols and so also of the quote unquote Templars, you better think again because it is. What that got to do with this? It got plenty to do with it. Don't think these women ain't having sex with these men. Don't think these men having sex with these women. If a good guy having sex with a demon woman and a woman having sex with a demon man, that been going on for many years now. That been going on. And don't think that because this is why for the most part this is why it went down for many years. Study the solar systems. Please study this stuff because I've been learning this stuff about you know Mercury, Venus. I've got the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. You need to study all these planets. Why you need to study this stuff? Because how our society is, how everything electricity, how we get, how we get, basically how we get our rid of form of rid of energy from here, from the states. I found the 12 Israel in United States. There are 12 banks in United States. There are 12 banks. That means that the lost tribe of Israel is here. It's here. It's in the planet in the United States. And I really do believe there's some strange stuff going on. Sun is the number one. Yes, sun is the number one because sun is number one because it got something to do that Jesus was a sun worship. He's a sun. It goes back to Summer Mary. What do you think, Summer Mary? If you say summer, it's Summer Marian. Summer Mary. Go it up. It's black-headed people. It's us they're talking about. It'd be different. They talking about whites and Asians. No, there's a real reason. It's us. Mercury is 8. Yep. Mercury is 8. Venus is 9. But who is number 6? Who is number 6? Who is number 6? If that's number 1, so how the hell Mercury is 8? So you mean to tell me number 6? Yeah, 6 is Saturn. 6 is had to be Saturn. It had to be. Because Saturn represents Satan. Satan represents Saturn. This is why Saturn is like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But it's like 7th planet, but it's like 10th planet. You see that? And it got something to do with the reptilians people and the Sumerian gods. Man, there's some strange stuff going on. I'm telling you right now. I saw something sparkle go right up in the sky, man. I saw something spark, and you might think I I don't want to believe. People always say it's these UFO involvement in the world, but I start to believe it might be because it's all through history. There's some flying sources. Even from the Bible, you can see of Jesus' mother, and there's a flying sources there. Man, ain't no telling what goes on. Some people believe that the quote unquote white people all come from a different planet, and so is black. Why you think George Clinton talking about goes back to the mothership? What mothership he's talking about? We come from another district, another planet? Who knows? All I'm saying to study this stuff, and maybe you'll learn. And it's an age in 4.568 billion years. So that's a long time. That's a very, 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 very long time. So that's been around for centuries. Please study this. Please study this. If you don't study this, how you know everything about you around this world? From Greek knowledge, study all this stuff. Because white people believe they create all this form, but you know they got some help from by other races somewhere. But that's just my commentary. Just give me your comment, give me your video response, and tell me what you think of this issue. All right? All right. It's your boy Domination. This is Back of the Base. Check out the deuces out of text, baby. Until next time. All right? All right. Peace. I'm out. All right. Peace.